You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I need to calm down. I got really upset looking at Michael Moore promoting the total disarmament of police. That is the UN plan for global takeover. We'll tell you more about it in this hour. I've got to get into the economic news, the world news. There's just so much of it. You think the only story in the world, though, is Freddie Gray's death. I'm sorry for his death. We don't know the truth. The police have been charged with homicide. There's a lot of other important stories we're going to be getting to, but I want to take your phone calls from Ironhead, John, I am, Adam, Phil, and others. Jakari's on for like 10 minutes with an update, and then I will just phone calls the entire broadcast interspersed with news. I've got to settle down. Because if I get wound up for 3 hours, which I can do, I'm just dead after the show and can't get all the business stuff done of news and analysis and planning. Yesterday I was so hyped up that I was just a wreck for about 2 hours after the show. Let's go ahead and talk to Ironhead. You're on the air in Washington. Welcome.
Hey there, how you doing? But you almost gave me wound up, too. Hey, do you remember back about a year or two before Bush left office, he flew into Tokyo for a 1-hour meeting. We only had a G7 at the time. There was no G10. Do you remember when he sat down with Ahmadinejad, and it was Medvedev, not Putin, who was in position. Putin replaced Medvedev shortly thereafter. And then we had the Spetsnaz crews coming into Fort Collins for the disarmament drills. Can you tie it together in terms of what you see with the UN and Jade Helm?
Well, there are giant covert agendas going on, and the globalists, though, think we're stupid, so that they think we don't read books, which the general public doesn't. And then we read you what they've said in the books and show you the documents, and the Dallas Morning News, the New York Times just says that doesn't exist, he's a liar, knowing people won't go check, like Memorandum 7277 or Public Law 87-297. And that story's up on Infowars.com right now. Kit Daniels, did you know a law is on the books to disarm all Americans? Incredibly important article. We need to red link it. And again, I've known all this forever, for 25 years. I knew about this before I was really politically awake. I knew about the UN plan. But it just becomes a rumor. Hey, there's a UN plan to get the guns. Well, yeah, it's on the books and a treaty. And that's why government just moves forward to try to get all this done. But if you look at the Russian troops inspecting the facilities and training for anti-terrorism drills, that's going on. And then now it looks like there's been double crossing going on, so that deal's breaking down. But then a lot of the high-level generals I've talked to, former and current, say, no, that's a scam as well. Above that, the Russians are actually working with the top bankers. The truth is, they're all double-crossing each other. It's like a James Bond movie with Spectre. The establishment doesn't even know who's on whose side right now. That's why they're always jockeying and changing position and rebalancing, in Kissinger's words. But you notice they're good at that. These mega banks that sit above the countries, as our nations go into more debt, as we implode, as our birth rates drop in the West, the globalist agenda moves forward on a planetary scale. So they are right now winning, but they're slowing their win. They're slowing their roll. They're getting more opposition as people become aware of their philosophy, their MO, their program, how they operate. But that's basically what's happening. But yes, that's why they have to have the U.S. military ready for gun confiscation, and why since the 60s they've been publicly training for it. It's just now the training has gone from a 1 to about an 80 on a scale of a 1 to 100. I mean, it's exponential. And so they're gearing up for something big. Ironhead, you want to stay on hold after Jakari leaves us in about 10 minutes and come back with a comment on that?
Yeah, I do have one quick comment.
Okay,
please.
well, stay there. Stay there then. And then I promise it's just going to roll with your calls. John, I am, It's a little blasphemous from Florida. Adam, Phil, and others. Hey, but we're all bad. I'm not judging you.
As protests over police brutality erupt across the nation, I'm reminded of this passage from the Capitalist Conspiracy booklet written by G. Edward Griffin in 1971. If those who seek world dominion can stimulate leftist mobs into violent confrontation with local law enforcement and also provide exhaustive news coverage so that the entire nation can see and tremble, then the peaceful and freedom-loving majority can be programmed to accept a vast expansion of government powers and even a national police force offered supposedly to end the violence. We're witnessing that same old Hegelian dialectic today. By stimulating unrest and allowing it to spiral out of control, the federal government can offer itself up as the solution, sacrificing ourselves for the king's nefarious takeover plan. Join the revolution. Subscribe to the Alex Jones channel on YouTube and share this information with your friends. You are the resistance.
Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lifted weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Jakari Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, is about to join us from the streets of Baltimore, Maryland, with all of the new huge developments. Then I promise to go back to Ironhead, John, Ian, Adam, Phil, and many others that are patiently holding. And then we will just take your calls throughout the transmission on this open line Friday. And Lord willing, so I take nothing for granted, we'll be back this Sunday live in studio for the 4 to 6 abbreviated Sunday edition. So please mark your calendars for that. Well, we've passed the mark 1 million YouTube subscribers without ever really promoting it on the Alex Jones channel. 1 million YouTube subscribers. Imagine if the 1 million subscribers on our YouTube channel that has over 500 million views, imagine if you picked out some of the most important videos, or more than 30 a day we post, and sent those to friends and family in email, posted it to Twitter and Facebook. The power of that is incredible. We have, I keep saying 800 million, but I'd forgotten that they had removed about a third of our views and the rest of YouTube's a few years ago. When Sony got caught gaming the views, they just took everybody's views away because of an advertising thing that I think is illegitimate by YouTube. But the point is that it's more like 700, 800 million on our channel. You add that to other channels, we're well over 1 billion views on YouTube right now, even if you don't count the views they took away. 1 billion views. McDonald's says billions and billions served. Well, we can say billions and billions served, and that's one reason the system's upset. And YouTube is about 20% of our listeners in the metric. But YouTube's important because it hits people that would never see us. But when you talk about talk radio, baby, on stations like KSCO, that's the #1 station with many of its shows, depending on which time format, there in the Central Coast area up into the edge of San Francisco. It even shows up in the ratings in San Francisco, where they got 2 stations. I mean, their ratings are sometimes they've got 80,000 to 100,000 people tuning in. Well, MSNBC has 100,000 viewers or less on their average show. I mean, they're the mouse that roared. We have over 180 affiliates, big ones and little ones, in places like Chicago and Rochester, New York. And we're back on again in Orlando, where we were #1 against Rush Limbaugh. It was in the news there that we beat Rush Limbaugh on a small station. Well, small is 10,000 watts, but compared to the station he was on, it was 50. It was a medium-sized station. I mean, we're having an effect. And I'm not bragging about Alex Jones. I'm saying freedom is popular. Like Ron Paul says, let's legalize freedom again. And when I see all these new people coming online, all these new shows, all these new people making great films, I don't go, oh, my gosh, competition. Look at those whippersnappers. We got to get going. Crack the whip. I'm like, thank God we're not the only X-Wings going in here. There's swarms of them going in against this Death Star. It's very exciting. And then if we can just stop the COINTELPRO from getting in there and manipulating and teaching them to infight with each other, because they'll test you, say something bad about you, trying to get you to fight. Don't do it. Just ignore it. Continue on the target. Get the ammo downrange. Stay on target. Stay on target. That is the key. So very, very exciting. Again, briefly, because the Austin American-Statesman, Dallas Morning News, and over 30 publications that I had time to look at, it's probably more than that, the last 3 days have attacked the fact that we sell T-shirts, water filters, and high-quality nutraceuticals. So we're extending the sales since they hate it so much. The sales have been incredibly popular and successful. Thank you. It helps us fund the operation. 50% off continues on a whole bunch of the products and the free shipping and the free bottles of the Fluoride Shield. See all the specials for yourself at InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com. And we've extended it with the countdown 2 days and a handful of hours. We can put that clock back up. And again, if you're a radio listener, Infowars.com/show to find the free video feeds. Just in the last week, the video feed viewership for the free feeds has tripled its all-time record. So we're just turbocharging. All these media attacks are only intensifying our readership, viewership, listenership. I want folks to Google Alex Jones Jade Helm. Click Google News. In the NSA interface, you can use the NSA interface as a weapon. It'll show you hundreds of articles and enemy transmission points attacking us. You can simply pick a few enemy sites, go in and start commenting, hey, go look at the Jade Helm documents here. Look at links to the government training to take guns. Look at the military and police admitting it's for gun confiscation. Look at the military and police admitting the MRAPs are for veterans. And then, oh, here's the Alex Jones Show feed for yourself. And it's not that they have big audiences. I mean, the Dallas Morning News might have 20 commenters. The Houston Chronicle might have 15 comments. You know, we have 5,000, 10,000 comments a day just on one article. But still, those are sheep we can wake up. Target them with the truth. The enemy is showing itself. Let's attack. It's beautiful. Speaking of attacking the tyrants with truth, Jakari Jackson bravely with Joe Biggs is now in his 3rd day in Baltimore, Maryland. I meant to air this. I want to air it at the bottom of the hour. They went to Walmart and confirmed that they had taken all the ammo, BB guns, and knives off the shelves so law-abiding citizens couldn't protect themselves. There were no gun shops basically in the city because of regulations and victim disarmament, but on the edge of the town is a Walmart, and they did pull it, and he has them on the phone and in person admitting it. Jakari Jackson, Joe Biggs, stunning job as usual. I want to retweet that video. It's important. Then we're going to go to your calls, Ironhead and others. Jakari, what do you make of just the